Something unexpected just happened in Edmonton, and many NHL fans almost missed it. At first, it looked like a simple contract signing, but the more people looked at the details, the bigger the story became. Some fans think this move could help the Oilers chase the Stanley Cup. Others think it could become a serious problem later. And the real reason behind this decision may be much bigger than anyone expected. The Edmonton Oilers have made an important move before NHL free agency officially begins. The team signed forward Jason Dickinson to a new 5-year contract worth $20 million. The deal will pay Dickinson an average of $4 million per season. While this may not sound like the biggest story of the offseason, many people around the hockey world believe this move says a lot about what Edmonton is planning next. When the news first broke, many fans were surprised. Jason Dickinson was only days away from becoming an unrestricted free agent. That meant he could have spoken with other teams and possibly received offers from across the NHL. Instead, the Oilers acted quickly and made sure he never reached the open market. This shows that Edmonton had no interest in taking chances with his future. The timing of the deal is one reason why this story has become so interesting. NHL teams usually wait until free agency to see what options are available. Edmonton chose a different path. The Oilers already knew what they wanted, and they decided Dickinson was part of their future. That kind of confidence tells fans that management believes he can help this team win important games. For fans who do not know much about Jason Dickinson, he is not the type of player who scores huge numbers of goals every season. He is not a player who constantly appears on highlight reels. Instead, Dickinson is known for doing the difficult jobs that often go unnoticed. Coaches trust him in important moments because he plays a smart and reliable game. One of Dickinson's biggest strengths is his defensive play. He can help shut down opposing players, kill penalties, and protect leads late in games. During the NHL playoffs, those skills become extremely valuable. Teams that win championships often have players who are willing to do the hard work away from the spotlight. Dickinson has built his reputation by doing exactly that. Supporters of the deal point to Dickinson's value beyond scoring. They believe the Oilers need players who can handle tough defensive assignments and help create balance throughout the lineup. Edmonton already has elite offensive stars like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. What the team needs are dependable players who can support those stars in every situation. Many fans also believe the contract is reasonable when compared to today's NHL market. Some analysts expected Dickinson could receive a larger contract if he reached free agency. By signing him early, Edmonton may have avoided a bidding war with other teams. In that case, the Oilers may have secured an important player before his price increased. But not everyone agrees with that view. Critics focus on the length of the contract. 5 years is a long commitment in professional hockey. Players can slow down as they get older, and some fans worry about what Dickinson's performance will look like near the end of the deal. If his production drops, Edmonton could face challenges managing its salary cap in the future. This debate has become one of the biggest talking points among Oilers fans. Is this a smart move designed to strengthen the roster for another Stanley Cup run? Or is it a gamble that could create problems down the road? Right now, nobody knows for sure. The answer will only become clear as the seasons unfold. What we do know is that this signing sends a powerful message. The Oilers are not standing still. They are actively building a roster they believe can compete for a championship. Every decision matters when a team has players like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. The pressure to win is enormous, and management understands that. Many hockey experts believe this contract is connected to Edmonton's larger plan. The organization knows its championship window is open right now. That means every roster move is being made with one goal in mind: winning the Stanley Cup. The Oilers believe players like Dickinson can help them survive the difficult playoff battles that come every spring. Championship teams are not built only with superstars. They also need role players who can perform important jobs every night. Dickinson fits that description perfectly. He brings experience, defensive responsibility, and versatility. Those qualities may not always grab headlines, but they often make a difference when games become tighter and more physical. As the next NHL season gets closer, fans will be watching carefully. They will want to see whether Dickinson can live up to the expectations that come with this new contract. They will also want to see how the Oilers continue shaping their roster during the offseason. More moves could still be coming. One thing is certain: Edmonton's front office has made its decision. Jason Dickinson is part of the team's future. Whether this contract becomes a brilliant move or a costly mistake remains to be seen. But for now, the Oilers have made it clear that they believe he can help them chase hockey's biggest prize. And that may be the most important part of this entire story. This contract is not just about Jason Dickinson. It is about the Oilers' belief that every piece of the roster matters. It is about building a team strong enough to compete for a Stanley Cup. And if Edmonton's plan works, this signing could eventually be remembered as one of the smartest moves of the offseason.
Marty, with the Cup final now behind us, all the attention turns to pending UFAs for free agent frenzy. And how about a coach who's ready to hit the open market? Yeah. After falling just 2 wins shy of the Cup, John Tortorella is available to the highest bidder. So, Marty, should the Toronto Maple Leafs or Edmonton Oilers be ready to pounce on him?
Absolutely. I mean, look at what he did with the Vegas Golden Knights, and I get it. He came in late in the season, and he was more of a guidance counselor. That's what he said. That's his own words, right? But as long as you have the drive, as long as you have the energy, as long as you're willing to put in the hours to coach, John Tortorella is a fantastic coach. Yes, there's always the other side of things.
Behind the scenes in the NHL. Two of hockey's biggest teams are suddenly being connected to a name that many fans never expected to hear again. The reaction has been strong, the debate is growing, and some people believe this move could change everything. But the deeper this story gets, the more shocking it becomes. The NHL offseason is already creating major headlines, and one topic is getting a lot of attention. The Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs are both being linked to veteran coach John Tortorella. For many fans, this news came out of nowhere. Tortorella has always been one of the most talked about coaches in hockey, and now his name is back in the spotlight. This discussion started after several hockey analysts and media outlets began asking an interesting question. Should the Oilers or the Maple Leafs make a move for Tortorella? At first, it sounded like just another off-season rumor. But the more people talked about it, the more serious the conversation became. Fans started debating, experts shared their opinions, and suddenly, everyone wanted to know if this could actually happen. John Tortorella is not just another coach. He is a Stanley Cup champion and one of the most experienced coaches in the NHL. Throughout his career, he has built a reputation for being tough, demanding, and honest. He expects players to work hard every night. He is known for holding players accountable and pushing teams to compete at a high level. That reputation is exactly why his name is creating so much attention. Both Edmonton and Toronto are under massive pressure. These are not rebuilding teams. These are teams that expect to compete for championships. When expectations are high and results fall short, organizations begin searching for answers. That is where Tortorella enters the conversation. Let's start with the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers have one of the most talented rosters in hockey. Connor McDavid is widely considered the best player in the world. Leon Draisaitl is also one of the league's biggest stars. Together, they give Edmonton a chance to win every season. But as great as these players are, the pressure to win a Stanley Cup continues to grow. Many people believe Edmonton cannot afford to waste any more years of McDavid's prime. Every season without a championship raises more questions. Fans want results. Management wants results. And the organization knows that opportunities like this do not last forever. That is why some analysts believe a coach like Tortorella could be appealing. That brings us to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Few teams in hockey face more pressure than Toronto. Some people believe Tortorella could provide exactly that change. They argue that Toronto needs a stronger identity and a different mindset. Tortorella's demanding approach could bring a new level of accountability to the team. Supporters believe he could challenge players in ways that help them grow and compete at a higher level. However, there are concerns about Toronto as well. The Maple Leafs already play under an intense spotlight. Every game is analyzed. Every decision is discussed. Every loss becomes a major story. Adding a coach as outspoken as Tortorella could create even more attention. Some people worry that the focus could shift from the team to the coach. Another concern is how today's players respond to coaching. Hockey has changed over the years. Many modern coaches focus on communication and relationships. Tortorella's style is often seen as more old school. Some fans believe that approach is exactly what teams need. Others believe the game has changed and different methods are more effective. This is what makes the entire debate so fascinating. There are strong arguments on both sides. Supporters see a proven coach who could bring accountability and urgency. Critics see potential conflict and risk. Both views have valid points, which is why the conversation continues to grow. When comparing the two teams, many people believe Edmonton may be the better fit. The Oilers are in a clear win-now situation. They have elite talent and a championship window that will not stay open forever. Tortorella's demanding style may match the urgency that already exists within the organization. Toronto's situation is different. The Maple Leafs also want to win now, but they face a unique level of pressure from media and fans. Some believe adding a coach like Tortorella could help. Others think it could create even more challenges. That uncertainty is one reason why opinions remain divided. No matter what happens next, one thing is clear. John Tortorella has become one of the biggest names of the NHL offseason. The fact that both the Oilers and Maple Leafs are being mentioned in connection with him shows how serious the search for answers has become. Right now, nobody knows what decision these teams will make, but the discussion alone has already captured the attention of the hockey world. Fans are debating, analysts are talking, and everyone seems to have an opinion. Whether Tortorella ends up coaching either team or not, this story is far from over. And if there is one thing hockey fans know, it is that some of the biggest off-season stories often lead to the biggest surprises. That is why all eyes remain on Edmonton, Toronto, and the coach, whose name continues to dominate the conversation. The next move could change everything. Shocking rumors have been spreading across the hockey world, and many Toronto Maple Leafs fans were left stunned. Social media exploded. Wild theories started flying, and people began wondering if something huge was happening behind the scenes. But as new information started coming out, the story became even more surprising. And what insiders are now saying could completely change how fans view the future of this franchise.
Last word, you hadn't had a chance to meet face-to-face with Austin just yet.
Yeah.
What's the intention there? Is there a timeline? Is there an intention to go meet with him? And what would you like to hear from him? Or what have you heard from him that's encouraging for you at this point?
Yeah, I'm encouraged. We've had a lot of great discussions, and honestly, I saw a happy captain that is very with a lot of pride in being the captain of Toronto Maple Leafs.
For Toronto Maple Leafs fans, the last few weeks have been full of questions. The team once again fell short of its ultimate goal, and disappointment spread throughout the fan base. Whenever a talented team fails to meet expectations, people begin looking for answers. This time, many fans started wondering if the organization would make a huge move involving its biggest star, Austin Matthews. Matthews is not just another player. He is the captain of the Maple Leafs and one of the best goal scorers in the entire NHL. Over the years, he has become the face of the franchise. Because of that, any rumor connected to his future quickly grabs attention. As soon as discussions about major roster changes started appearing online, some fans feared that Matthews could somehow become part of a blockbuster trade. The rumors became even louder because Toronto recently entered a new chapter under general manager John Chayka. Whenever a new general manager takes control of a team, people expect changes. Fans begin asking difficult questions. Will the new GM keep the same core players? Will he start a rebuild? Will he trade a superstar to create a new direction? These questions created the perfect environment for speculation. As the rumors spread, many fans became nervous. Some believed the Maple Leafs needed a dramatic change after years of playoff frustration. Others argued that trading a player like Matthews would be a huge mistake. The debate quickly divided the fan base. Social media was filled with opinions, predictions, and emotional reactions. Every new report seemed to create even more uncertainty. This news brought relief to many fans. For years, Matthews has been one of the most dangerous offensive players in hockey. Players with his skill level are extremely difficult to replace. That is why many people around the league never believed a trade was realistic. While fans were worried about rumors, insiders were seeing a different picture. They saw a team that still wanted to win, with Matthews leading the way. The reports also gave fans a better understanding of John Chayka's possible vision for the organization. Since arriving as general manager, Chayka has been under pressure to improve a team that has struggled to turn regular season success into playoff success. Fans wanted answers, and many expected major changes. Instead of tearing everything down, the Maple Leafs seem focused on retooling the roster. Retooling means keeping the core of the team together while making adjustments in other areas. It allows a franchise to remain competitive while trying to fix the problems that have held it back. For Toronto, that can mean changes to coaching, player depth, defensive structure, or overall team strategy. The coaching situation has become another major part of the conversation. With the organization continuing its search for the right coach, many fans believe the next hire could have a huge impact on the future of the franchise. If the right coach is brought in, Toronto may believe it can finally take the next step in the playoffs. That possibility makes keeping Matthews even more important. Still, not every fan agrees. Some supporters believe years of playoff disappointment prove that bigger changes are needed. They argue that something dramatic must happen for the team to move forward. Others strongly disagree and believe Matthews gives the Maple Leafs their best chance to win a Stanley Cup. This debate will likely continue throughout the offseason. What is clear right now is that the fear surrounding an Auston Matthews trade appears to have cooled down. The latest reports suggest Toronto is not looking to move its captain. Instead, the organization seems focused on building around him and finding ways to finally break through when the games matter most. And that may be the biggest takeaway from this entire story. While fans were focused on trade rumors, the real story may have been happening behind the scenes. John Chayka could be working on a completely different plan for the Maple Leafs. The question now is whether that plan will finally bring the success Toronto fans have been waiting for.
The NHLPA has told the NHL they want to go through with an investigation into Mike Babcock before he can be hired by the Edmonton Oilers. We get the latest Wednesday from our hockey insider Pierre LeBrun. The NHL is moving ahead with its investigation on Mike Babcock and events in Columbus. Darren Dreger adds this: there's no timeline on how quickly this can be carried out. The Oilers are aware of this. Players involved, etc. in 2023 will have to be interviewed. If Babcock were to back out at this stage, a league source says there would be no reason to investigate.
Everything looked finished. The Edmonton Oilers appeared ready to make a major move that could change the future of the franchise. Then, without warning, a new development stopped everyone in their tracks. Suddenly, fans, players, and hockey insiders were all talking about the same thing. What seemed like a simple coaching search has now turned into one of the biggest NHL stories of the offseason. The Edmonton Oilers entered this offseason with one clear goal. They needed to find the right coach to help the team take the next step. After another disappointing end to their season, there was pressure on the organization to make a strong decision. For a while, it looked like the Oilers had found their answer. Reports began linking the team to veteran coach Mike Babcock, a name that hockey fans know very well. Mike Babcock has one of the most successful coaching resumes in NHL history. He won a Stanley Cup with the Detroit Red Wings and spent many years coaching some of the league's biggest stars. His experience, leadership, and history of winning made him an attractive option for a team that wants to compete for a championship right now. For many Oilers fans, the idea made sense. The team has elite talent, and bringing in an experienced coach seemed like a logical move. But then, the story took an unexpected turn. As reports about Edmonton's interest in Babcock continued to spread, the NHL Players Association stepped into the spotlight. Instead of simply allowing the hiring process to move forward, the union reportedly called for a review of Babcock's past controversies before any final decision could be made. Suddenly, what looked like a routine coaching search became one of the biggest stories in hockey. The reason goes back to events that happened during Babcock's short time with the Columbus Blue Jackets. In 2023, concerns were raised by players regarding interactions involving personal phone photos. The situation quickly became a major topic across the league. Soon after, Babcock resigned from his position before coaching a regular season game for Columbus. Even though several years have passed, that controversy has never completely disappeared. The Oilers are not a team that can afford to waste time. They have two of the best players in the world, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Every season that ends without a Stanley Cup creates more pressure on the organization. Fans want results, management wants results, and most importantly, the players want results. That is why this coaching search matters so much. When a team is trying to win a championship, every decision is important. The head coach sets the culture, manages the locker room, and helps guide the team through difficult moments. If the Oilers choose the wrong coach, it could have serious consequences. But if they find the right coach, it could help push the team closer to the championship they have been chasing for years. The NHLPA's reported request for a review has now added another layer of uncertainty. Instead of focusing only on hockey decisions, the conversation has